Alright guys, so we're here with another episode of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I haven't really played the game for probably about a week at this point. But this game's gonna have my full attention now because I am done with Ghost of Tsushima. So this game will have my full interest until I'm done with it. And then after this, I think we're going to start the next Kingdom Hearts game. And then after that, we'll start Origins. But yeah, after this game, I want to start, playing Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And then we can come back and start doing Origins after that. And then, because I think I'm probably only going to start doing one series at a time on the channel until we're just done with the series.
Your syrup is liquefying him. He's turning him simple-headed.
Now, look now. You are scaring away my customers. Why don't you bugger off or I'll give you something to remember me by.
You can't talk to me like that, you little gutterling.
What's all this then?
Oh, sod off.
If you'll excuse me, madam.
Okay. But yeah, I haven't really played this game in a little bit, but I just finished Ghost of Tsushima. I should have went down there, I'm retarded. But I just finished Ghost of Tsushima. I finished Ghost of Tsushima. It was such a good game too. By the time you guys are seeing this, it should be well and done on the channel. But yeah. That's something I'm worried about too. I'm gonna fall behind just because I played Ghost of Tsushima. Everything else is gonna be falling behind now. Which should be, I mean, if I have to, I can just start uploading a bunch. But
Oh, you are asking for it.
I'm asking.
Tell me where the
ran.
syrup originates.
All I'm hoping is they make a run each day between the gasometers and the asylum.
Thank you. Get out of here. I was playing Red Dead Online today too, because today was its big update or whatever. Dude, they still haven't fixed that damn game. You can't stay in a lobby for more than 15 seconds without getting booted out. And it's just ridiculous. It's the worst thing ever. Because I love Red Dead. Red Dead 1 was probably one of the first games I ever dumped a bunch of time into. Besides AC2. AC2 and Red Dead were my biggest games I played on last gen. And those were really some of the games that got me started.
Find out where that syrup is made,
The actual game that got me started was, I think it was Resident Evil. God, I want to say maybe 3? Yeah, I think it was Resident Evil 3. And it was Resident Evil 3 and something else. Yeah, it was Resident Evil 3 and something else. But like, it bothers me that I can't remember what it was. It was like Resident Evil and I want to say, God, I don't know. I think it was MX versus ATV. I clicked the wrong button to heal. I'm used to Ghost of Tsushima. But Resident Evil and MX versus ATV were some of the first games I ever played. And then from there, I got into Xbox after the PlayStation and started playing Gears of War. I started with PS1, PS2. I skipped PS3 until like probably a year ago. And I played 360. Then I moved to PS4 and I think I'm going to stay on PlayStation for the next generation as well. But yeah, Resident Evil, MX vs. ATV, and Gears of War were games that got me started. And Gears of War, I remember playing, and it was the craziest game in the world, like, to me at the time. That was the first game I beat, too. Like, I played Resident Evil 3, but I never beat it. You gotta think, when I was playing Resident Evil 3, I was like 5? If not younger. 5 or 6 playing Resident Evil 3. You know what I mean? So I didn't finish it. Gears of War, I did finish, because Gears of War is way easier. Gears of War is super easy to beat. You know what I mean?
The man in charge of the syrup distribution.
But
The man in charge of the syrup distribution
it was
runs
so
a fighting club at the fountain.
it was so fun. Why did I even start talking about games like? Oh, because Red Dead and AC2. Yeah, Red Dead and AC2 were the stuff. To be honest, at the time I played more Red Dead than AC2, but Assassin's Creed has grown to be one of my favorite franchises. I mean, Ubisoft, I know everyone talks so much crap about Ubisoft, but they're doing something right, because I buy their new games every year. New Far Cry, new AC, Watch Dogs. I didn't even like Watch Dogs 2 that much compared to Watch Dogs 1. Which I think I'm gonna play Watch Dogs 1 on the channel, by the way, but not Watch Dogs 2. But I don't even really like Watch Dogs is not one of my favorite franchises at all, but I still buy it for some reason, you know what I mean? Well, now I have a reason, because I film, and I'm just like, why not? But you gotta admit, like, Ubisoft's doing something right, because I buy every single one of their games. I own almost every Far Cry. I don't own the first one because that was like a PC type, PC exclusive. I think actually the original one. I think that one was actually a PC exclusive, but that one wasn't made by Ubisoft either. I think the later ones were made by Ubisoft, the like re-releases of it, which I really want to play on the Xbox One because of the backwards compatibility. So that'll be fun. But I own every AC. Except for the first one, because the first one I just didn't have before. Hopefully they remaster that with like Valhalla Season Pass. Kind of like how they did with AC3. If they do, that'll be sick. But yeah, so the only game I haven't played is the first one. I know how to kidnap. Did we not just do this? But yeah, so I mean, I buy every Far Cry, buy every AC, like as soon as they come out. Buy their Watch Dogs. I love Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Vegas was like my favorite, like third-person shooter. Cause I never played a game like that at the time. With the way Rainbow Six Vegas is set up, it's like a tactical or whatever strategy, third-person strategy game. I don't know, but I never played anything like that at the time, and when I did, I just loved it. And then I bought the second one, and then I bought Rainbow Six Siege when I got it. I'm ready to buy Rainbow Six Quarantine, like, you know what I mean? Like, what else do they have? They have Arno. Is that what it's called, Arno? I think so. Arno's that a,
There you are.
it's, what is Arno? It's, I think it's like a building game, which looks very interesting, but I don't have a PC, and it's only on PC. What else is AC? Or what else is Ubisoft, I mean? You got... Sorry about that, but as I was saying, like, the way Ubisoft does their stuff, it just works. Like, Ghost Recon, those games are always insane.
Don't make me come over there.
God, I'm used to other buttons. But like the way way Ubisoft works is just crazy. Every single one of their games I always want to buy. South Park.
Syrup, mate? Speak now or forever hold your...
The distillery. It's the large building beside the brewery.
Now, to stop soothing syrup production once and for all.
Oh, I think I just desynced because I killed him. Oh, okay. That was just okay. But like, let me watch. Let me just go to the Ubisoft thing and look at their games. Because sometimes I don't remember who makes games. Games made by Ubisoft. Yeah, so you got the AC series, which I always buy because it's AC. It's just so good. Watch Dogs, which I don't like that much, but I still buy. You got Rainbow Six franchise, which I love. It's Anno 1800. That game looks very interesting. If I had a PC, I would definitely play it. The Division, I own both those games. Even though they're not, like, the best, I still enjoy them somewhat. Ghost Recon, those games are pretty fun. You got For Honor, which isn't my style just because it takes a little more skill and it's just not my type of game. You got Monopoly, which just love some Monopoly. You got Just Dance, which... I mean, I don't even know if anyone cares about it anymore. You got Far Cry, The Crew. The Crew 1 was insane. You got Anno 1404. Trackmania, those are really fun. Rayman Legends, that's really fun. Steep was a fun game. They made X3? Or it's 13, but they made 13? What? Really? Wait, so do they still own the rights for the new one that's coming out? If you don't know what I think it is pronounced 13 or 8 or something like that. It's X3. But if you don't know what it is, it's a cartoony like action game. I think the campaign's like maybe 14 hours long or so at most. But it has a cartoony art style, and it's a first-person shooter. It's by far one of the coolest looking games I've watched on YouTube. I haven't played it, but it is getting a remaster or a remake. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's just a remaster, but they're remastering it on PS4 and Xbox One, and it's coming out in like November, I want to say, like November 6th-ish, maybe like 20th something, somewhere around that time. I just know it's in November. I think it's at the beginning of November though. But like, it's just, from what I've seen, that game looks super fun, and it doesn't seem like it's like anything else I've seen before. I mean, I've played the first... I miss games like that, too. The type of game it is. Because you don't really have too many first-person style games like that, you know what I mean? So, it's nice to see something like that. Because you don't... The way that game's set up, it kind of is like an old James Bond type game. But it's like goofy, cartoony, it knows what it is, you know what I mean? It's not trying to be anything else. It's trying to be a goofy cartoon, very comic book type FPS, I guess you could say. But it looks, from what the videos I've seen on YouTube, I watched like, I think like half the game on YouTube when I saw that they were remastering it, and I gotta say it's pretty awesome, to be honest. But the way that game's just set up, I miss more games like that. Games where they're not like 20-40 hours long, things like that, and it's a big open world. I miss linear games like the Uncharted series. I loved strictly because it was linear. Like Uncharted 4 was iffy because it wasn't as linear and it wasn't as Uncharted as the rest of them. but it was still a great game. I want to get Lost Legacy. That's something I feel like the Tomb Raider games, the newer ones, they could have been better if they stuck being linear and not open world. Because I'm pretty sure the older ones were linear. The Lara Croft series, not the Tomb Raider, the Lara Croft ones. I'm pretty sure those were like linear for the most part, and that worked. Yeah, no, they were. I remember playing
This will complicate things.
Tomb Raider. I think it was Tomb Raider 2. It wasn't part of the Lara Croft series, I think, but I don't remember. But it was just insane. Like, I'm dead. But I love linear games, but you don't get enough of them anymore. Like Gears of War, that was a linear game. Very great. Games where there's just levels, and you could replay those levels if you want. It's just nice. Like Fear and the original Prey. The 2006 or 7 one. That Prey was like the best game ever. I still have it on disc for the 360. Same with Fear. Both of those games though are like some of my favorite games, and they're both very linear. Fear reminds me a lot of like Gmod and Half-Life, just with the way it feels and stuff. But the way Fear set up, it was like very advanced for its time, I feel like, if I'm being honest. Because the way it was set up, it had dynamic lighting, it had crazy shadows, like the sound quality was great, things like that. Like, Fear was just very advanced for its time. But I miss linear games. I miss playing the original Red Factions too. Like, I know we played Red Faction Guerrilla on the channel, and I enjoyed it, but I wish it was more like the older games. Like Red Faction 2. Red Faction 2 was so fun. It's actually free on Xbox Live Gold this month. Or the month of August. It's not quite August yet. But, by the time you guys are seeing this, it's August. But, like, Red Faction 2 was insane to me. Like, that was one of the... Oh, that was a great game to play. I think, actually... Oh, wait. Hold on, actually. I think I'm gonna go on the PlayStation Store on my phone real quick.
You should not go about frightening respectable gentlemen, young man.
I didn't realize snooping around was considered gentlemanly.
Snooping? Sir, I assure you.
Keep vigilant.
Quick, inside. That was too close a call. You young
Yep.
man gave me...
You can buy Red Faction 1 on the PS4. But Red Faction 2's on here as well. And the original Psychonauts. What the... I didn't know there were so many games on here from the last gen. Man, I knew Manhunt was on here. I just haven't bought it yet. But yeah, Red Faction 2 and 1's on here. Which is sick. I don't remember if those games were linear or open world though. But I loved both of them. They both were really fun games.
I thought you were one of them. But I realize now why you're here. Same reason I am, I imagine.
I imagine?
I believe I found something, young man.
What is he talking about? This?
Rather impressive contraption, wouldn't you say?
I've seen bigger.
Datura stramonium, or devil's snare as it is commonly called. That goes into the syrup. And opium, no less. Revolting. Absolutely sickening. A favorable way to proceed, wouldn't you agree?
No. You psychopath.
Find a way out of here, quickly.
That's... Why would we set...
Take a wild guess.
they sell this panacea for anyway?
Let's make a mess! Which way could he have gone?
Which way could he have gone? I'm right in front of you, broski. The hell are you talking about, bro? As I found out too, doing the Assassin's Creed franchise on the channel, the ones I didn't play and people were talking crap about aren't really as bad as I thought. Like, from what I heard, Rogue sucked, Unity sucked, what else? I think it was Rogue, Unity, and this that were like the biggest Assassin's Creed like fails, I guess. A lot of people hate Assassin's Creed 3 too, which is surprising to me because I used to only hear good things about it until recently. But I personally like every AC game that we've played so far. The only one I know I'm gonna have a problem with is this one. I really don't like this game as much as I like the other ones. But who knows? Maybe that'll change because I've never actually finished this game. So who knows? But I did like the other AC. I liked all the AC games leading up to here. And I mean, I've watched a full series on the first game. So I mean, I kind of know what to expect in that game. That game's actually super awesome. Like, if they remastered it, I would love it. Not even remastered, just ported over, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a full-blown remaster like AC3 was. But every AC game, all the way up to this, I've loved. The only one I know I'm gonna have a problem with is this one in Odyssey. Odyssey I hate. No, it's not, I hate it just because it's not a good Assassin's Creed. It's a good Spartan, warrior, mercenary type game, but it's not a good Assassin's Creed game, in my opinion. Could it have been a good Assassin's Creed game? Yeah, but it wasn't all there. And that's what happened. Origins, though. Origins is something else. That game is amazing. I'm hoping Origins will be the same, I'm hoping Valhalla will give me the same feeling Origins did when it originally came out. Because Origins was something I've never played, because when Origins came out, I wasn't really into RPGs besides Fallout and like the Elder Scrolls series. Those were the only RPGs I truly played. And some XCOM, if that counts as an RPG.
Delighted to make your acquaintance.
I thought we already met Charles
Jacob
Darwin.
Fry. The pleasure's all mine.
No, we
While you were
meant
busy
what's his
wreaking
name?
havoc, I found this. It
Charles
indicates
Dickens?
that a sample of every batch has been sent to Lambeth Asylum.
I wonder if it's visiting hours.
Don't be so hasty, Mr. Fry. Many people work at Lambeth. You wouldn't want to attract unwanted attention.
And what's the fun in that?
Not every problem can be solved by blowing things sky high. Sometimes a little discretion is in order.
Please let us play as Evie for that mission, then.
I will
Tired of
meet
playing
you
as Fry
at
already.
the asylum to continue our investigation.
Damn it, that means we're stuck as playing as Jacob. That's crazy though, we already done 2 missions in like 20 minutes. So, I'm assuming these missions are short and that's why there's so many of them. That's the only thing I can think of. Hopefully you don't have to do this side stuff though to be able to finish the main game. Let me Google real quick. Do you have to liberate each region in AC Syndicate to beat it? Let's see. You have to clear like almost all of them to beat the game. Really? I really am not looking forward to that. origin of the syrup. This is our nearest fashionable point. But like, God, I just miss old games. Maybe I'll make a few videos talking about older games and maybe showcasing them if I could get the Xbox up and running. Talk about the Xbox One too. I'm not gonna go back to the 360 because I would have to buy a capture card and stuff, and the 360 is all messed up anyway. I think I would have to buy a capture card. No, I have another way to record my voice for the Xbox One, but I want to go on there and maybe just showcase some of the games I'm talking about if you guys haven't played them. If you haven't, looked up here. Let me get the disc real quick, or the cases. If you haven't heard of the games I'm talking about, look up Prey. I think this is God, what year is this? Look up Prey 2006 and you should be able to just Google Fear 1. But if not, Google Fear 2006. These both came out in 2006. That's crazy because Fear looks so much better than Prey, like graphics wise, but those games are both insane. Love them. BioShock's also something I want to play on the channel. Same with hopefully if I get the new Xbox as well. I probably will, just it'll be a little while after it comes out. But I would love to play Fable, because Fable 3 and 2 were some of my favorite games. I never got into Fable 1 because I never owned it, but Fable 2 and 3 were some of my favorite games on the 360 as well when it came to like RPGs. So I mean, if I eventually get the Xbox, or if it's even on Xbox One, I'll play some Fable, because Fables I'm pretty sure is an Xbox exclusive. That's the thing that sucks too, like I saw so many good games, or not really. I was gonna say I saw so many good games at the Xbox showcase. There's like 3, man, that I actually wanted. The Avowed game from Obsidian Entertainment, the people who made Far Cry New Vegas and what is it, Outer Worlds, I think. Avowed, it's new first person. Looks like it's gonna be a Skyrim killer, which I'm kind of excited about. And then you got Stalker 2, which I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Stalker was like an old PC series RPG that's been gone for like 15 years or something like that, if I'm not wrong. But that I'm looking very forward to. And then
I have told you before, sir, I had nothing to do with that anonymous article. Nothing, I say. That is a lie, sir. And you know it. Bah, I don't have time for this nonsense. Nonsense? It is my name and reputation you have willfully besmirched, sir. My very name. Bah! Drive, damn you, drive! That is Richard Owen, a vile, despicable wretch of a man.
Really? I could have sworn you were close friends.
Mr. Owen
what
works
else was
for the
in
asylum.
those
He will know who made the syrup. Get him! Get him!
well, I mean, all I really know right now is Avowed and Avowed and Fable. I was looking forward to, and Stalker. But they're all Xbox exclusives. I thought at least Stalker would be like PS4, but no. Purely Xbox. Which, I mean, it sucks, but like, what can you do? Oh my god, I completely dismounted for some reason. Is it tap circle? I think I held circle, maybe that's why. But, I mean, there's a few decent looking games at the Xbox event. I can already tell you Avowed and Fable are going to be great. Stalker 2 hopefully should live up to the hype as well, because the original Stalker game I heard was pretty insane as well. So, if that's the case, that's going to be awesome. To be honest though, nothing's gonna beat the hype I have for
wondered how much of
Cyberpunk.
the
Cyberpunk's like the biggest hype game of the year,
just
you know
have a
what I
few
mean? Like,
questions for you,
Cyberpunk's
sir.
just retardedly.
Whatever it is Darwin wants, I will not give in.
How do you damage this thing?
What about Starrick's soothing syrup?
Soothing syrup? Why would a scientist have any interest in tears?
I wager your life, Mr. Owen, that you know something. Stop! Next stop, the River Thames. Better speak now, old man. Next stop, the River Thames. Better speak now, old man.
For pity's sake, stop and I will tell you everything I know. Dr. Elliotson, Dr. John Elliotson, he formulated the elixir. He's the man you want, not me. I beg you, good sir, stop this madness.
Okay.
Now, was that so hard?
Yes.
Yes. See, like, these missions are like 5 minutes long. Originally, I was like, God, this game's gonna suck to play. But look. We started only having 2 missions done. We already have 3 other ones. Or we have 2 other ones done. We're about to start the 3rd one. But, like, goddamn, these missions are short as hell. I'm assuming we're gonna go back and... Are you sure the last mission's at the train hideout for now? I think so. So we're gonna have to head over to the train hideout, find where that mission is, do it. Which I'm assuming is gonna be like a 10-minute long mission as well. God. Oh yeah, and I also bought fuck, what is it called? I think it's Alien Isolation? I think I bought that recently on the PS4 and I would like to play it on the channel. If you guys want to see that at some point, let me know. Because there is a few series that I still want to finish up on the channel. I want to do at least Shadow Warrior 1 on the channel. Shadow Warrior 1, I want to finish up AC. Do Far Cry, at least up to 5. We don't have to do New Dawn. At least up to 5 though. I want to do the rest of the Kingdom Hearts series, except for the Remind DLC in the 3rd one.
I've been looking for you.
And then I think that might be it.
Dressed in sartorial
There's a
splendor.
few other like little indie games that I wanted to film on the channel. But yeah, there's not too much more that I want to film on the channel a bunch. Like, we got the Far Cry series, which I know is going to take a little bit, and we got this in Origins, and then we're done with AC.
Ah, another exciting night home for Evie Fry.
Just on my way out, actually.
And then we have the rest of
I
Kingdom
found the
Hearts
piece of
fell.
Eden.
What's this one going to do?
And then
Heal the sick,
there's not really too
deflect
much.
bullets, control the populace.
They're dangerous objects, Jacob, especially in Templar hands.
You sound exactly like Father.
If only. Lucy Thorne is expecting a shipment tonight. She's Starrick's expert in the occult. I'm nearly certain she is receiving the piece of Eden Sir David Brewster mentioned.
Sounds like fun. Mind if I join you?
Promise you will stick to the mission.
I swear.
Okay. But yeah, there's actually quite a bit of like little indie titles I want to do on the channel. Just because I found them very enjoyable, very goofy. Some of them just have a vibe you can't get on other games, which is really
The
awesome.
contents of that box are worth more than your life and those of your entire family. Do you understand?
Yes, Miss Thorne. Careful there. Double the guard on that cart.
Now, Miss Thorne, there's the matter of some papers for Mr. Starrick. If you'll just come this way.
Very well, but make it quick.
Whatever it is she's after, it's in that chest.
There are gunmen on the rooftops.
Can you dispose of them before I reach the cart?
I was hoping for a challenge.
God. But yeah, so I mean, as I was saying, there's quite a bit of indie stuff I want to do on the channel, and some pretty much just indie titles, to be honest. We don't really have too much more mainstream series that I want to do. Just AC, Far Cry, Watch Dogs 1, Kingdom Hearts, it's Shadow Warrior, if that even counts as mainstream.
Actually,
There he is!
I think it's best we leave.
what did you do?
It's hardly the time for questions!
Whoa! Come on! And I'm gone.
Yeah, I'll go through tonight and just double check
We need to
everything I
get this
have.
crate back to a safe place.
What do you think I'm trying to do?
Had to guess, I'd say kill us both.
If you really want to fight, come over here!
Jacob!
Wait till you can't hit my sister!
Stop it!
Come on. Damn it.
My sister dodged bullets!
Somebody has the fire. What? I'm out of bullets.
Take my cartridge!
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Get us out of this and I might find out.
God damn, there's so many people attacking me now.
Jacob, careful!
What is it?
It's papers, Jacob. Documents research.
There we go. This is real clunky right now. I don't know why.
What about the chest?
Leave it! Jump now!
Ah, cowabunga. So you're telling me that
Well,
was
that was
pointless?
fun. Thanks for the invitation. Let's do it again.
That mission took us 5 minutes if this is the end. That mission took us 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, if missions are like this, I'm not surprised there's a bunch of them. Because these all have been really, really quick. If it does force us to, like, clear out the regions or whatever they're called, I'll do all those off camera, because there's not really a point in showing them. You know what I mean? But, yeah. I mean, unless you guys want to see them. If you do want to see them, let me know in the comments below. But if not, I'm just going to film all those offline, or off camera, because there's just a lot of repetitive, boring stuff. But if you guys want to see, like, some sort of free roam stuff or something like that, let me know. I'll record some. I would like to make more, like, free roam style videos on older games, too, if you want.
Like a paint,
That,
you
let
rugs
me
from
know.
Camden Loch, and my wee sister, the seamstress, did a discount on the curtains.
Now of a sudden, an overrun delivery
'Cause
is
I do want to go back and maybe do a few videos on, like, Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy, like do an episode or two on each of those games, and maybe go back and do some AC4 stuff, just because those games are so fun, dude. Like, I love the Ezio trilogy. People say Brotherhood's their favorite. Me personally, don't really care for it as much as I would care for Revelations and 2. But yeah. Alright, well, I mean, I think this is where we'll just end off for now. Right? I think we can squeeze in this mission. If not, I'll just have to tell you guys what happens at the end of the mission or whatever.
You may have not found a piece of Eden, but this material is invaluable. Look. It says the London assassins had found a shroud.
The Shroud of Eden is supposed to heal even the gravest injury. If the assassins had found something like this, surely Father would have known.
There must be something we're missing.
Something only we can see. These look like directions.
Is this when we go to the Kenway Manor?
Fieldwork is not really my speciality.
We found a clue to a precursor object. Don't you want to follow it?
Put that way, one can hardly refuse.
I think this is when we go to the Kenway house. Oh my god, I hope it is. That's something I liked about this game, is you go to Edward Kenway's mansion as one of the main missions. I don't know if it's this one though. If it is, sick. Because, goddamn, Edward was an amazing character. If you guys haven't started watching that Ghost of Tsushima series on the channel, I recommend watching it, because that game entirely was insane. The ending, though, if you don't want to watch the whole series,
go on.
At least go watch that last episode. Well, I mean, no, you need some context to understand why the last episode was so sad and so heartbreaking. At least watch the first, maybe like 3 or 4, and then you can skip to the last one and watch it.
Popular myth is that it brings people back from the dead, but the assassin records say that's not true. I've never heard of one being in London, though. Do you really think Edward Kenway could have found one?
He travelled extensively, so it's possible. But if he did, he kept it a closely guarded secret.
But if it's true, what a find it would be.
Dude, I legit got goosebumps as soon as they said Edward Kenway. I'm excited too to play Watch Dogs Legion, because London's something you don't see a lot of in games anymore, to be honest. I feel like there's like a bunch of games like taking place in London, and then they just stopped out of nowhere, you know what I mean?
I'll be in the study. I don't want to be interrupted unless you have news of the lost notebook.
That makes getting in a challenge.
You still intend to enter?
If this is a Templar stronghold, it won't get any easier. Don't worry. We'll stay well away from Miss Lucy. Shall we? Can you check over there?
Of course.
I think the biggest, like without a doubt, the biggest game of this year is going to be Cyberpunk, right? What else would it be? Like, someone tell me, please. What else do you think's going to be as big as...
Stop her!
Like, what else do you think's going to be as big as Cyberpunk 2077? Like, nothing. He's just having a seizure over here. What Cyberpunk's doing is so ambitious, and it's getting ready for the next gen console, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna show us what next gen games are gonna start looking like, you know what I mean? And I mean, from what I've heard too, is Cyberpunk's trying to, or not Cyberpunk itself, but what I've heard is Cyberpunk is pretty much launching a way into an entirely new subgenre of games. Not, it's like it's launching its own subgenre of open world RPGs, which is going to be called the Cyberpunk genre, which I'm very interested.
What are we looking for?
I don't really get many Cyberpunk games. Something I wish we had more of, like if you guys know any good ones, please leave it in the comments below. Something we don't have enough of.
Something only we can.
Something we don't have enough of is steampunk games. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but D-A-D-E-F-D. 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 D-A-D-F-D? Wait, what was it? D-A... D-A-D-E-F-D? Oh, okay. But if you know any good steampunk games, let me know. Because I know a lot of people hate steampunk as a genre. I personally find it nice.
KENWAY had a strong sense of
I
spectacle.
wish there were more games where it showed a dark world with industry everywhere. And I wish there were more steampunk games. I mean, I'm pretty sure, what is it? I have Bloodborne, which I'm pretty sure counts as a steampunk game, but that's not the type of steampunk game I'm looking for. Like either like a first-person steampunk game or like a third-person RPG, not a Souls-like. I don't want a Souls-like game. Souls-like games are not my style. I suck at Souls. Souls-like. Like Demon Souls when it's coming out, I was thinking about buying it, but hell no.
I think this is from the Jackdaw.
But yeah, steampunk games are just something I always found fascinating, but never really got into because there's not really many steampunk games, I don't think. I'll look into it. There might be more than I'm thinking.
The history of the London assassins. Bolt holes, vaults, a hidden key. This is it.
You say you heard music? There was no opening there before.
It's closing!
Yes, I can see that. Help me block it.
We need to find another way out.
Oh, I guess BioShock Infinite and Dishonored count as steampunk. Hold on. I mean, if I can get into the BioShock series, I'll definitely show that on the channel. The Order 1886, but I heard that was a terrible game. But other than that, it's a bunch of old games that you can't really get your hands on, or just like indie titles that don't really look the best. Yeah, like so like all I saw on there was Dishonored and BioShock as like big games. That's sick. That alone makes me want to go back and play some AC4.
An entire vault, filled with assassin history, left behind once again.
We'll just have to reclaim this one later, or find a better cache.
We? I thought you preferred to stay out of field work.
And this entire assassin vault? Wasn't that the entire Ezio trilogy was finding, or no? That was just Revelations, huh? Was finding that. Yeah, no, because Revenge was the first two games. Knowledge was the last game. So Revelations was about finding a missing vault. And then, isn't that technically what 4 was? And 3? No, well yeah, technically. But they weren't vaults full of knowledge in 3 and 4. They were old precursor, like, machines type stuff. Alright, but we'll be able to save the last mission of sequence 4 for the next episode, and then I think there's, what, 9 in total? Yeah, 9. So we'll start 5, and that'll be halfway through the game right there. Well, technically we're already halfway through the game already. But, yeah. If you guys enjoyed, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please comment down below what you guys want to see on the channel in the future. And I'll see you guys very soon with the next episode of AC Syndicate. Peace out.